Hello, citizens of the planet. Welcome back to Monday Musings with Larry Lelli. And this past week, I mentioned it last week, but I was fortunate enough to play for the Roundabout Theatre Company's annual Gala event. It's a huge show that they do this year. It was at the Waldorf Astoria Hotel in the Grand Ballroom. It's a beautiful, huge ballroom. Very, very old school, classical architecture, and just a beautiful space. And it was a wonderful evening. We had a huge lineup of stars performing, and we were saluting Audra McDonald this year. And the rehearsal, it's a one-day event. We show up there at 9 in the morning, and we rehearse all day, get through everything maybe once, not necessarily without stopping and starting, but we try to do everything we're going to do that night and get an idea of how the show is going to flow and where the people are coming on and off and what kind of music is needed and all that kind of stuff. Lots of stuff just happens on the fly. And even though you try to plan as well as you can, then when the show is actually happening, because it's the first time you're actually running the show, things aren't going as planned, and so you have to just wing it and go with the flow. And there's a lot of ad-libbing and improving and vamping and stretching and, So during the day, one of the most fun things about this event was being reunited with my castmates from the producers all those years ago. Nathan Lane and Matthew Broderick came and did a wonderful skit that Nathan had written. It was very funny, and actually the rehearsal was, with them learning their material during the rehearsal, was so hysterical I could barely play, because just the two of them together have this wonderful chemistry that they make themselves crack each other up, especially when they're just working stuff out or when they're ad-libbing. That's when they're really in their prime. I mean, their brains are just firing in the moment, and they're so clever and quick and witty, and they're just really good with that kind of ad-lib, off-the-cuff kind of comedy. And so they know that I'm a really good audience for them. I will laugh. They make me laugh so much. And so they will just do it more and more and more until I'm laughing so hard that I can't play, and we have to stop, and Anyway, it's a lot of fun, and I feel very, very lucky to get to do that show and to get to see those guys again after all these years. Just to be in that kind of space where you're not just in the pressure of performing. You're just in a room, basically. I mean, we're on stage, but you're there and you're playing around with the material. You're finding a way to make things work. You're having to try different things. Maybe like one of the sections, Matthew actually wanted the music to have a different feel to it, so that it wasn't so jarring. It had this really disjointed rhythm to it. And he said, what if we just did that, and it just kept it smooth throughout the whole thing? I think it will make it, flow a little better. And it was a great idea. And so that, we did that. That's the kind of stuff that you work with and play with in the moment to try to find what's going to be best for that performance of that material. And then also we got to perform with Barbara Cook, who was amazing, and she came out and sang an incredible performance of a song and made us all cry and laugh, and she told a joke, which was really funny. And then it was just so fun to see all my friends from all the Roundabout shows over the years that I had done. A bunch of the cast of Bye Bye Birdie came back, and 110 in the Shade, and who else was there? I should have written down a list. It was like everybody who was anybody was there. And then in the audience are all the rest of the stars that do the plays and stuff for Roundabout, and maybe didn't do the musicals, and they were there as a part of the evening to enjoy the evening with everyone else. And so it was great to see all those friends of mine as well. So it's a great, fun time. Paul Gemignani, of course, was our fabulous musical director for the evening, and it's always so great just to work with him for a day. That's the most fun that I always have, is just hanging out with him in the room during rehearsals, because get him telling me stories and stuff like that, and we have a good time. And he's such a, I mean, just the kindest, most generous man, and one of the most talented, and has done so much. You know, when you think about the stuff that he has done in his career, just to be in the room with him and have access to the experiences that he has had, and I learn so much from him every time that I'm around him. So it was great to see him and work with him again too. So that was the gala that I played for the Roundabout. Such a great time. I feel so fortunate. And everybody had a great time, and they raised a lot of money for the Roundabout. So a good thing all around. Okay, thanks for tuning in. I will see you next week.